Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we get to discuss the rise and fall of my favorite sovereign citizen, American State National Karen, Lenka Koloma. Now I said rise and fall, but let's be honest with each other here. There never really was a rise. It just started with Lenka 3 years ago on primetime television in Las Vegas with this clip.
Best-selling author Lenka Koloma, she has found a way to heal her own health and help thousands of others as well.
Here to shed light on her own path of self-healing is motivational speaker Lenka Koloma. Welcome, Lenka.
Welcome in.
Thank you so much for having me
Pleasure.
here. What a pleasure.
And ever since that video, her life has been downwind from a skunk's ass leading up to today's video. So let's begin.
Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to our series. This is Lenka and Doug, and we are here once again bringing you some very important information. So what we've been trying to do is create these short videos. We are trying to fit below 10 minutes to bring you important information so you can start connecting the dots and realize that something is not quite right? That something is going on and you just possibly cannot put your hands on it. And so that's the purpose what we are doing. So today's subject of discussion is we have this special society which is called the Legal Society. It's a special club, and we the people are not in it.
Well, you lack the double-digit IQ necessary to get into the cool kids club, Lenka. And I love how she thinks that it's some super secret impenetrable society, when in reality, if Lenka really wanted to become a lawyer, all she'd have to do is go back to school and do it.
All right, what I'm talking about is the Bar Association, which created this legal society. What the bar stands for is British Accredited Registrar or Agency.
No, Lenka, the bar does not stand for the British Accredited Registry. You made that shit up. In fact, the bar is not an acronym at all. It's a metonym, and it represents the physical bar that used to be in English courtrooms, beyond which only qualified litigators could pass.
And it's a club where they entice these young people who want to study law. But when you go into this special club, you are not studying the law. You are studying the processes and the statutes and codes which are to derail people and strip people of their constitutionally secured rights. You see, very important thing to remember is that your rights do not come from another man or woman. They do not come from some agency. They do not come from your governor or your health officer or your professor or your teacher. They come from your creator.
I really hate this argument, because my creator could be different than your creator, so my inalienable rights could be different from yours. For instance, if I worship the spaghetti monster and our scripture says that only followers of the Book of Marinara with at least 2 meatballs are allowed to own land, well then I guess legally speaking, Lenka, you're shit out of luck.
Doc?
Yeah, the Bar Association came in and usurped our government. If you look everywhere in our government, in corporations, wherever you look, you've got a lawyer either chasing an ambulance or you've got to go ask some kind of permission from them to do something. A corporation doesn't put out a product, it doesn't make a move without talking to its group of lawyers, its legal department, okay? The senators, most of them are attorneys, and they're barred from holding office because that's a title of nobility, but they do it anyway.
Good shit, Doug. Way to start out dumb as fuck. Because government officials do not hold titles of nobility, as nobles typically get their titles hereditarily or by appointment, whereas almost all government officials are elected into their positions from the President of the United States all the way down to the city council.
So we've been taken over by a bunch of lawyers. And now you look around and you see all this communism crap, right? Coming into us from all directions. Well, check this out. There's, I got it right here in my notes.
If your notes don't start off with, "Don't get a dumbass prison tattoo on your face," then I'm not listening.
The Bar Association was declared by Congress as the legal bulwark of the Communist Party, okay?
Wow. Say it again, Doc. From where?
Congress declared the Bar Association to be the legal bulwark of the Communist Party. See Union Calendar number 1078.
Okay, hold on a second.
Calm down, Lenka. You keep cutting off the San Andreas Santa Claus, and he's gonna move you from his nice list to his bury out in the desert list.
Guys, I want you to digest this, okay? The Communist Party, all right? So the Communist Party has been here since when?
Oh, since the 1800s.
Since 1800s. People, make a notice. And this happened when Abraham Lincoln actually took an office because he was a bar member. I want you all know that he tried 5 times to take the office as president.
Wrong again, Lenka. Abraham Lincoln ran for president in 1860 and 1864, winning both times. He also attempted to run for vice president in 1856, but didn't even make the ballot. So if you're going to be extremely liberal with your arithmetic, then that's 3, not 5.
And it wasn't until the international banksters supported him and invested, I believe it was $5 or $7 million.
$7 million.
$7 million back then in 1861, so he could actually become a president as a bar attorney to nicely sneak England back into power in America. So think about it.
I honestly try not to, Lenka, especially since it's a bunch of bullshit and none of it's true. Lincoln was not working with Britain to bring them back into power. You're not accredited by Britain when you pass the bar exam. And Lenka, no matter how many boxes you eat, gourmet crayons are not a good source of nutrition.
We have Declaration of Independence 1776. We have all these brave men to fight for our freedom, to declare themselves free from the reign of the British King, King George, right? Only few years later, 1861, to be back in what we just liberated ourselves from. It's mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing.
I hate to be the one that pisses in your bowl of lead Cheerios, but you lack the prerequisites to be mind anything.
Well, anybody can go look at this. If you look at the Union Calendar number 1078 and 81st Congress Second Session House Report number 3123, you'll see where they were considered the bulwark of the Communist Party.
Hey guys, post-editing Skeptic here, and I completely forgot to cover this part and why exactly this guy is wrong. The document he's referring to is Union Calendar number 1078, titled Report on the National Lawyers Guild, the legal bulwark of the Communist Party. So that's the first place he's getting it wrong. They're not talking about the Bar Association, they're referring to the National Lawyers Guild. And if we go to page 6, in the document that he is citing, it reads, not only has the behavior of guild attorneys been noted officially by several federal judges, but the American Bar Association in 1949 received from its Board of Governors a recommendation that the American Bar Association bar from membership any person holding membership in the National Lawyers Guild. Literally, the reason that Karen and Doug are telling you that you should hate the American Bar Association is the exact reason the American Bar Association won't let in members of the National Lawyers Guild. So now I have to ask you, the viewer, are these two lying intentionally, or are they just too stupid to know the truth?
With an atheist and communist membership who prey upon the ignorance of the public trustees.
You know what, Doug, this makes perfect sense, because I came from communist country. I immigrated to America some 30 years ago, and I don't only know communism, I lived through it.
If you lived communism, and you know communism, and you ran from communism, then why the fuck would you want to bring that anarcho-communistic bullshit to the most anti-communist country in the world?
For 20 years, right? And so I came to America for the freedom and for the personal liberty. And first it was great, but it took me only a few short years, maybe like 4 or 5 years, and I started to realize that something is not right. it feels the same way what I just escaped. And so for me personally, I started today. And that's what got me on this path of 20 years of studying and realizing the communists have already been here.
Since the day you landed, Lenka.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to take over the whole globe, the whole world. And here you guys have it. So I want you to realize something very, very important, right? Just imagine we have these amazing public schools, right? That teach you all this knowledge, all this information, right? There's a reason they want mothers to be working so the children go into these public schools very early on, right? Why? Why?
I don't know, Lenka. Maybe so they don't end up like you and Doug, uneducated, making dumbass videos in a roach-infested shed.
So you can indoctrinate.
So that they can indoctrinate us from very early age. Can you imagine that these public schools, right, would actually teach our kids and us and all the generations about our rights? That our rights do not come from another man or woman or some agency or health officer or a governor or police officer, but they come from our Creator, and that they are secured to us by the supreme law of the land called the Constitution, that was not created for us, but for them, the public servants, right?
To limit their power.
To limit their power, which comes from us, we the people, right? So think about it.
You only got 2 brain cells left, Lenka. Be careful about thinking about anything.
Your rights come from your Creator. The moment you are born, the moment you come to this life. And these rights cannot be taken away from you unless you give them away. And that's exactly what this private special club called the Legal Society have done. They literally trapped you into their system by your voluntary compliance, by your ignorance, because they don't want you to know what's going on, right?
What are you even talking about? You can go pro se and literally represent yourself in America. Now, it is in your best interest to always get a lawyer, but there is nothing stopping a competent American from representing themselves from the highest courts to the lowest courts.
Which makes perfect sense. Think about it. All these wonderful people trying to run for these offices, right? To serve, right? And look at them. Look at them. Look what they've done for the past 2 years. It cannot be more obvious, right? But these guys have been happening actually for some 160 years?
Yeah, 160 years.
Since this bar association took over our country, right? And now, whenever you have a legal problem, what do they tell you? Oh, you need to get an attorney. Whenever you go to court, right? Oh my gosh, they will insist, they will push these attorneys on you. Why? Because they work for them.
Again, they push attorneys on you because it's not in your best interest to represent yourself in legal matters. Let me give you an example that anyone can understand. You win a contest and you get an opportunity to throw a baseball 100 feet away in a hole that big. Now they give you the option of letting a world-class baseball player do it for you, or you can do it for yourself, but you have no arms and you have no legs. Think about it.
They don't work for you. They work for the system, for the legal society that's stripping you literally in daylight of your rights.
Yep. Not just stripping you, they've robbed you of your heritage from birth through semantic deceit, through the birth certificate and the civil registry, which is through the United Nations in the 1947 Bar Treaty. The bar was hired to protect the United Nations and run their businesses for them. So what you've got is a top-down conspiracy to treat you like chattel and hold you to conduct credits by their bylaws that you haven't signed up for. And that's all it is, bills of attainder and bills of pains and penalties that are placed against you in violation of your rights to take money from you or take your time for what they believe is conduct credits. You did some conduct that they didn't like, so they're going to make you pay for it, and they're going to credit you because now you owe a debt to society according to them.
Oh, it sounds like Santa really didn't like the prison sentence he got back in the 80s. And we all owe a debt to society, and it's paid off by being pro-social and anti-social behavior is taxed. That's how a functioning society works.
So, you know, it's a big game that they're playing, that they've got you trapped in this fishbowl and they're not wanting to let you out. But there's ways of getting out of this fishbowl and holding them liable. Like the 1879 Constitution of California was repealed November 8th, 1960. The Bar Association was created by Article 6, Section 9 of that Constitution. That means that the Bar Association was repealed November 8th, 1962.
Take a notice. Take a notice of that.
That means that they're...
Wait, what happened? Did the video literally just end?
Take a notice. Take a notice of that.
That means that they're...
Well, alright guys, that's the end of the video today. I guess one of Santa's little helpers ran across the top of his camera and accidentally shut it off. Now Lenka did knock all the bugs off and re-record this entire portion, and if you want to go watch that, a link will be in the description below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. But don't forget to comment below and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my content. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.